This is our Wednesday night channeling, number 124, in this series anyway. And tonight's, for the new ones, I start maybe in the morning or sometime getting a title for the class and then writing a couple of pages, tune in with the one who's going to speak. And this is someone new tonight. And the title tonight is The Moment. I guess he picked up on our other class we've been in. The moment holds all the secrets of the universe. The moment is where you live, breathe, and have being. You are one with all life in the whole of the universe. You are sharing the moment with all life right now. Be therefore relaxed and at peace in the nowness, and as the beat goes out to all of life in the moment, hold in your heart the whole of creation in love, peace, and joy. Feel your kinship with all life, for in the moment, life is nourished. Each individual expression of God's reflection is nourishing each individual expression of God's reflection. Be in the thoughts here and now. Rein in your mind to stay in the present, feeling the joy that the eternal moment brings. What would you have in your moment? If you choose to have fears, doubt, worry, anxiety, they will bring all their offspring that will multiply many times if you attend them with the food of thought. They wax fat and take up much of your life force as you allow. But if you choose to feel happy, at peace, joyful, with a song of gratitude for the beautiful wonders of life flowing its melody of ecstasy as your heart, in your heartstrings, you can reach the heights of the heavenly angels and join with them in glorious celestial music that they pull from the beings of light, of radiance, of divine love, going out to all of his creation. If you would have more of the Father's celestial music that fulfills, heals, and brings his abundant countenance in your consciousness, release all the impurities that have no reflection of his glorious being, and catch the beat of the angel's music from the heart of God by thinking of him often and singing his praises unto his name. Let the image of him that dwells within your being be expressed for all to see. Be the beautiful child that he created and grow into the image, into his image, by staying close to him. He is only a thought away in the moment. Oh. We dim the lights for those who are new. Just not too dim, you know. Deeper. Okay. Oh. Sounds like we have somebody else who wants to channel that. Good evening, my dear ones. It is indeed a pleasure to be here with you and to see these new faces, and we wish you all well. We have brought with you a new one who has been watching. Donald has attracted several of higher beings who wish to learn to do this that is called channeling. And they have been practicing, and they want to be allowed to participate. There are many, many higher beings that are watching your planet at this time, for it is the most opportune time to be in the physical in the history of your planet since its birth. And it is a glorious opportunity for each one who is opening up to the light of understanding, who is moving away from the darkness of misunderstanding into the light of knowing the truth. I will now let this one who does not wish to be given a name speak. And we would ask you to send Donald love and the channel, and realize that each of you that are in this circle of light are as much a channel as the one who speaks. Good evening, my dear ones. I bring you the blessings from the realms of love and light, and it is with great joy that I have been given this opportunity to speak with you. The other teachers are helping me with God's divine love and have been coaching me in how to do this. It is the writing that I practiced with this afternoon, and it came out fairly well. I would have you know that there are many, many groups all over your planet and all over the universe with planets that are close to your evolution who are doing the same thing, who are bringing down the understanding from the higher realms that was intended to be here all along. As your planet grew in its evolution and you incarnated on this planet, there have been many, as I have looked up the history of your planet, there have been many times that through the ages that greater societies, greater times that was much higher in their evolution than you are today, or even the ones that you know as Atlantis and Lemuria. And they have made their gain and learned to use what you would call psychic powers in a great way, and misused them and wiped out all the whole civilization and all the records with them. But the records are there in your soul memory banks, but there are no physical records of these times except for Atlantis and Lemuria, and one other one that I do not catch the name just right. It is with great joy that I wish to speak with you about living in the moment. I have attended your other class called Ultra-Dimensional Awareness, and am pleased with the way that it is going and the way that it was written. And it was by attending that class that I wish to speak with you in this group about living in the present. For my dear ones, the present is the only time there is. Yesterday's gone, you cannot call it back, and tomorrow never comes. When it does, is today. On these higher realms, we do not have any concept of time as you do. We think of time in terms of soul's growth. For example, if you come into 10 lifetimes and make no soul's growth, that time has no meaning in the realms of eternity. That time was wasted. But it doesn't matter, because you have all eternity, and the Father has given us free will. He has given us as long as we want to take. And there is no such thing as to fear God, for God loves all his creation and is sustaining and maintaining them. But you, my dear ones, do make your life what it is. God gives you the life force. He gives you the understanding and the light to work with. And as you have come out of the Godhead or the Garden of Eden, you have dropped down to this physical plane, and now you are on your way back up. And as you allow his truth to be assimilated into your consciousness, and you understand what life is about, instead of thinking about the illusions of this physical plane. The illusions of this physical plane keep you earthbound, and 90% or more believe only in the illusions of the physical plane. And I tell you, my dear ones, this physical plane is 99 9/10% at least illusion. Now, you may not understand that. You may not realize what this means. Excuse me. But I tell you that you have come purposely to go through this play on a stage, to have these trouble and problems, as you call them, that we call opportunities. And it is a glorious thing to see you overcome these. It is a glorious thing to see your growth as you move through your days. Do not be concerned when you slip. Do not be concerned if you fall away for a while. It is all right. No one condemns you from this side of the veil. God does not condemn you. We do not condemn you. And if anyone else condemns you, that's their problem. Feel good about yourself. This is one of the main things that your teacher has been teaching you, to understand yourself, to realize the greatness of your being, and to understand that you are God's in the making. You are children of God, and you're growing up to fulfill the complete image that he created you in. This is a wonderful thing when you come to realize this and can accept it as truth. If it is the first time that you may have heard it, it may sound like too much, because most of your churches do not teach this enough. They concentrate more on the negative, and some of them do not, but some do. And it is time that everyone learn to realize the truth. And that is why that these groups are being formed all over your planet, is to bring the light of understanding straight from God to us and then to you. If you can comprehend it through the language, then you will grow. And if you apply it, you will grow much more. It is true that your language is a big barrier to true understanding, but you can assimilate enough in your language to overcome this plane, to rise above it, and be free of these lower dimensions. Now, this may sound strange to some of you who have not heard some of these classes, but I tell you, it is your goal to not reincarnate anymore, to learn your lessons and not have to come back to this plane, but go up higher in consciousness and on up to the higher levels. When you go through your life and think only of physical things, of monetary things, then you miss the most important part, because the physical is less than 2% of life. And I am picking up a lot of Donald's teachings and giving them back to you, for it is new to me to be speaking this language and to be bringing this class. But I want you to know the truth, and I want to share the love that is here for all of you, whether you're in this circle or somewhere else. It does not matter. God loves all of his creation, and we would not be on these higher rounds if we did not love all of God's creation. It is something that you must learn, and you start by learning to love yourself. So many of you have not even thought of this or considered it, but loving yourself is where you began, because, my dear ones, you are divine. You are made in the image and likeness of your Creator, and you need to understand this. And it needs to be said again and again and again until you can look in that mirror and say, I love you, and say it with feeling and emotion and know it in the depths of your being. Now this I would ask you to consider doing several times a day. Say it to yourself or say it out loud if you're alone, and mean it. And when you're looking in that mirror, you're looking in the eyes of God. When you're looking at your brothers and sisters, all the others that you know, you're looking in the eyes of God. For my dear ones, there is but one life. There is but one life in all creation. You appear to be separated because you are wearing this physical body. But when you come to these higher rounds, you know your oneness, you feel it, and you know that you belong to the family of life. It is a great feeling to drop away the illusions of the physical plane. I started to say ignorance, and it is lack of understanding. Donald says is a better way of saying it. But it is a lack of understanding the real truth, that you hold to the illusions, that you hold to the belief in duality. And when you can give this up and be your true self, be true to the God self that you are, then you are free of the misunderstandings of life. You are free to rise on the wings of God's love to the heights of his love, as you will, by releasing yourself to him and to his love. This does not happen overnight, and it takes practice, and it takes patience, and it takes what you call time. In true reality, there is no time. In true reality, time is an illusion. When you understand this, when you realize that life has always existed and always will exist. There was no beginning and there will be no end. Then you can give up the fear of death. You can give up the fear of lack, and you can be your true self. And you can grow into the understanding of the divine being that you are. For truly, my dear ones, you are made in his image and likeness. Whether you know it or not, whether you accept it or not, it is true. And there will come a time when you move into the full consciousness of this, the full awareness of this, and you will embrace it with your whole being and know that it is true. It is a good feeling to be here with you this evening, and I would have you know, I am reminded to say that your teachers and guides are here, and there are many, many who have come to learn from this side of the realm as you have come to learn this evening. And there are several higher beings who are helping me and helping to keep the channel steady and bring this through in as pure a form as possible. Let us pause for a moment or two and give you a chance to ask questions. I have been instructed that this is part of your class, and I have been promised help from this side if I do not know the answer or know how to give the answers. The answers are all within us, but in your language and with your understanding, it should be given in such a way that you will comprehend it. Are there questions here this evening? This is springing in on you a little too quickly, maybe, but there is much that you could learn by asking questions. There's much that others could learn by your asking questions. Maybe the one sitting next to you would like to ask the same question, but is a little shy and does not come forward. Allow yourself to be open and to feel one with this circle of light and to feel one with these beings of light. I tell you, excuse me. Donald is not used to my vibrations as yet, and when this takes place, there is an adjustment to be made, and to come right out the first time and in a class like this takes courage on his side and on mine too. But we are doing the best that we can, and we would be open to communicate with you, and let it be a two-way communication. Bring out some comments that you might like to make or questions that you would like to ask. This will break the ice, as you call it, and bring through a better rapport.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If we were commenting last week that we heard on the news there are these they discovered these circles over in England, and people are trying to figure out where they came from or how they got there. So I was wondering if you could give us any enlightenment on that.
I am being told of this and shown a picture. Was this in a field with a straw or something like that?
Yes, it was.
Yes. And I am told that this was a spacecraft, but it may not come out as in clear information from those around the place. I do not know what the news of that has come about, but it was. There are times, there's a great armada of people from other planets who have come to be with you at this great change in your planet. And it is a wonderful time. It is the most beautiful time that this planet has known. And they have come from, even from other galaxies, to be with you. And they are in the physical, and they have their craft that they do not have to take so long as your craft do to travel. And they have come to help and to be with you so that you do not destroy your planet, and to make assurance. And they say that it will not happen. And that is why they are here in great numbers. And they are here in love. They are not here to destroy you or to make you afraid of them or anything like this. They come in love. They come to help. And they are your brothers and sisters, for I want to say this to you, even though some of you are new here tonight, that you have dwelled on many, many other planets before and many other dimensions. When you realize that you come from eternity that had no beginning, and you realize that you had many experiences, now you shut off the memory of these so that you will have the opportunity for growth when you come into the physical body. And you have what you call trouble and problems, and this gives you the opportunity to have something to push against, something to work with. On these higher dimensions, it is too easy, and growth is much slower, real growth. But there is growth here. But to speed up your growth, you have chosen to come in the physical body, and go through these experiences that this planet has to offer. Most of the ones who have come from other planets, other galaxies, are more advanced, more evolved than you are at this time. And that does not say anything against you, because in times past, as you call it, you have been much more evolved than you are now. But you have chosen to come down to the lower dimensions to have the opportunities that it has to offer, opportunities for growth. I tell you, if you want to build muscles in your spirit, in your physical body, you must exercise them. And if you want to build muscles in your spiritual understanding, they must be exercised also. And when you do not have the opportunity to exercise on the higher dimensions, then you choose to come to these lower realms to go through a few thousand years or so, or maybe lifetimes, which is not just a drop in the ocean in the sense of eternity. But you choose to do this in order to gain in your understanding and to move higher in consciousness. Did this help your understanding?
Yes, very much.
Yes. Are there other questions this evening?
I was going to ask a question about the difference between extraterrestrial beings and walk-ins.
Well, the walk-ins are from the spirit world, the dimensions that I come from, and your extraterrestrial beings are in the physical body from other planets. Some of them are very high in vibration, and you could not see them with your physical eye unless they lowered their vibrations to where you are. And this would this is done at times, but it is very painful in a way. It's the only word that I can think of. That is not the right word, but for them to do this. But they do it at times to make themselves known to a few people and allow gradually you on the earth plane to get used to their presence here and to not be alarmed by their presence. You see, what you don't understand, you fear, and your government automatically has their guard up for anything that they are not used to. And if a spaceship were to land on the what you call the White House lawn, there would be many soldiers, tanks, and airplanes come to the rescue of the president. Do you not think this is true? Yes. And so we have to gradually bring it to your understanding and enlightenment so that you will be able to accept us in the light that we come in. Did this help your understanding?
Right there.
Yes. There is much at this center. You do have a class on this that has been given just a few times, but in the future there will be more about this. There are plans being made about it now, and if the conditions work out correctly, then we will. There will be maybe contact and greater understanding about this, and maybe the class will be given at a later date. It has not been given for several years, I'm told. Are there other questions this evening?
I have a
Yes.
Jonathan as the channel for you to come through. Is it the subject matter or this vibration?
Instead of
The other groups around.
well, yes, you're correct, and you are bringing up something that I want to speak of. The vibrations have to match up to some degree before we can channel through one of you. And this, unknown to you, I have been here several times and watching the vibrations, and it was decided by someone else other than myself, that higher than myself, that it could work. Now, I want to talk to you about vibrations. Someone, my dear, inspired you to ask this question because it was to be a part of the class tonight. As you understand vibrations, you understand them partly. You each are vibrating at a different level. So you are different individuals with your own thoughts. They're different than anyone in the whole universe. Now, when you go to sleep at night, you do leave your body and you go to the realm that you are vibrating closest to. And you have contact with your teachers and guides and maybe some of the space people at times. And maybe at times you do visit other planets at night. This is not too much, but it does happen. Now let us talk about your plane. It is in a state of decay at all times, isn't it? And you have to keep rebuilding your buildings. And Donald has said, what you see now on this planet 200 or 300 years from now will not be here, most of the things that you see, because they are in a state of decay. Now, when you reach a plane where I am, nothing decays. It is eternal. When you bring something into existence, it is there eternally. Now, what is the difference? Why is your plane in a state of decay? It is because of the vibrations and the difference in the vibrations. Let us talk of this because it fits in with your classes that you go to here. When you think negative thoughts, fearful thoughts, anxious, worried thoughts, then this has an effect on everything around you. It has an effect on even your furniture and your house, your automobiles. This may astound you, but it is true. And when you have been on this planet has existed for a long time, and the majority of the time it has been negativity and wars and many other things. And now you are polluting your planet. But it is the thought vibrations that go out, that are not loving, that are negative, that wear your bodies out. Your body is built to last out all eternity, because you and your scientists know that you even rebuild your cells. So why should your body wear out? Some people live to be over 100, and some people die at a young age. It is because of the negative thoughts that go through your mind, and they also go through your body, because your mind and your body are interpenetrated, and so your bodies wear out, grow old. There was times in Atlantis when most of you are from Atlantis or Lemuria here, not all of you, but there were times when you did not grow old. You stayed at your maturity, and you did not even go through the birth system in the same way that you do now. You came in as a full-grown body. And as you could stay in the body for 1,000 years or more, and when you decided it was time for you to come back to these rounds, you just told everyone goodbye and left. This will come again in your new age that you're moving into, that you're into now, and it will be a wonderful experience. For a few years, it will be a little rough for you in your near future, but fear not about this at all. Hold no negative thoughts, because you are here for growth, and it does not matter what happens to you, as your teacher said, but how you handle it, how you react to it. And if you are supposed to stay in the physical through this new age, then you will. But even if you lose your body, you can reincarnate in a short time and have the best of this new age. This age that you're in now has been called the Golden Age, and it brings about an abundance of everything. Your planet now is in a state of rapid change, accelerated change, as you have heard on your news. And this has been talked about in your circles like this for many years. And now it is happening. And it will happen all over your world. There will come a time when you have very little government, and it will be a government for the whole planet. But it will be a time, you see, my dear ones, when you don't need prisons, you don't need law enforcement, you won't even need hospitals. Look forward to this and work with yourself to bring about only the positive, loving thoughts and vibrations that you put out. Now, your vibrations are wearing when they are negative or fearful. They are destructive, and they do destroy your automobiles, your homes, your clothes, anything that's around you. And this was to be one of the themes tonight. And are there any questions about this or anything else?
Can we hold our vibrations positive throughout the entire day?
Yes, and if you have a day like this, you are far on the way to overcoming the world. Just one day. I sat in on one of Donald's other classes that has a little red book that says 7 days. But if you could do it just for one day completely, without any negative or fear-filled thoughts at all, then you would be far on your way to overcoming this planet. And as your master teacher has said, I have overcome the world. And he meant that he had risen above being subject to anything that this plane had to allow in a negative way. And he proved it by giving demonstrations. He did not do this to show off. He did it to show you that you also can do this. And he said as much. Yes, work towards the day when you can awaken from these dimensions to your physical plane and immediately say, good morning, God, I love you. I'm copying Donald now. And feel this way and be grateful for what you have all through the day and take it into your workplace. And be not concerned what others do or what may happen around you or even to you. Hold that thought that life is beautiful, life is wonderful, and your life is moving higher in consciousness every moment, that you keep those loving thoughts flowing through your mind. They also flow through your body, and my dear ones, they can renew your body and make it young again if you so desire.
You don't have to have a working day to do that. If you put your mind to it, you can put all of your effort in it, can you not?
Yes, this is true.
Accurate.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question in reference to waking in the morning and feeling that good positive feeling right away. Sometimes I find when I wake up, I don't know if there's resistance from coming back from the other side. But some mornings I wake up and before I even get a chance to think about it, I may be a little ornery. Could you enlighten me into what's going on the other side of my thoughts that might bring that into effect and how I could help change that?
Well, it is not what's going on the other side. It is experiencing the beauty and the joy of these higher realms and then having to come back to this realm that maybe your subconscious comes into play a little bit here. And it is difficult, and this is why that you do not remember, even though the class that you're finishing now is supposed to help you to remember. Most of you are not ready to remember because it would be even greater a challenge for you when you come back in your body. It is like leaving a beautiful, beautiful place and then kind of having to go into the slums. and not saying that your realm is the slums, but relative to these realms, it is much, much different. And your challenges that you have through your day. But when you do come to this side while your body is resting from you, we do talk about the things that you are going through and the challenges that you have. And we have council meetings here, a council of maybe 20 of masters who talk about their charges, and you see there's a system not unlike your big corporations have. We have whatever you're vibrating to, that is what level you're on. But you see, there is always someone to reach up to have a helping hand, and at the same time, you're reaching down to those below you to help them. And so it is throughout the universe. And when my teacher says, I want you to come to this meeting because it has something to do with someone that you're working with that's working with someone on the physical, then we talk about it and send love into it. We do not have the right to interfere with whatever you choose to do, because God has given you freedom, and we have to give you freedom too. But we can send you love, and we can help in many ways that would not be understood by you at this time. But we are always there. You are never alone. You do have your privacy, but we are always there to help you. So fear not about the things that might be ahead of you, or the things that you're involved with now. So this help your understanding.
Yes, very much. Thank you.
I feel good about this opportunity to come and talk with you. Even here, my dear ones, we are still learning and growing, and some of you are surprised to know that your Creator, God, is even still growing. He's growing through His creations. Are there other questions this evening? It has been a wonderful time to be with you, and I ask your blessings on all that you meet, and I would have you to remember that God's love is the strongest force, the most powerful force in the whole universe. And I am asked to say to you that for those who are new, there's an article on the table about sending God's love. And they are for you to take home and to read. It is the highest form of prayer from your level. I would now leave you, but I leave you with great gratitude in your patience with me and with great love from the Father. God bless you, and good evening.
Thank you, and come again.
Can we stand at hall? And thank.
Put that.
As we quote has in the physical, let us think of coming together in the physical as we have been in spirit. And let us bring those higher vibrations down to this circle of light, and think of it as God's love, and going around the circle and gaining momentum and building us in power, and filling this room, spreading out over the city, and covering this planet, and going out to the whole universe. Let us send God's love ahead of us into this week, into our every thought, word, and deed, and every situation, into every encounter, and realize that it is there to meet us when we step from moment to moment. Thank you, Father.
You're no longer falling one day.
And a paper class to people. Drawing thing that could happen. Keep it never. Yeah, was in the funny. And short